Hello.
I'm gagging.
Wow, you're on fire.
She has a torch. I hate this. Welcome, everyone. Oh my God. Season 2, episode 2.
We made it to episode 2, season 2 of The Nanny. Ba-da-ba-da-bam.
It's crazy because we're recording this and the Thursday episode hasn't even gone up for y'all yet. So
Look at this. We are so on top of our shit.
oh my God, we really are.
Except for the fact that we took a week off. But whatever.
Yeah,
But we're back.
we needed the break. We needed the break,
We needed a break. We're really excited. I like this new format. Do you like the new format of splitting up The Nanny and Lost?
I love it.
I think it makes sense.
It's much more digestible. It makes my flow right. It makes sure that I'm flowing correctly. It makes sure that I'm regulated,
It's so basically it's a probiotic.
It is a probiotic.
Is a probiotic. It's good for your gut health, and that's what we're here for. Hello,
Mama,
everybody.
Call me kombucha.
Kombucha. Okay. Well, on that note, call me Beth, also known as Augusta Wind 11. My favorite show is The Nanny, but I've never seen Lost before because that is Dylan's favorite show.
Yeah, and you'll get that Lost episode on Thursday, I promise. But if not, sue me. But my name is Dylan Zahner, also known as Ep2 online. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, all that jazz. But this is Hot Mess Moments, and if you're new here, welcome on in. This is a podcast devoted to us doing a spoiler-free review of The Nanny. But if you check us out on Thursday, we do a spoiler-free review of Lost. But this is specifically about The Nanny, a show that I have never seen before because I'm a bad gay. And now I finally get the chance to experience it for the very first time, completely unspoiled. And you can watch along with us because we do this episode by episode. And I don't know what happens, but it's been a fun time so far.
Yeah. So, Dylan, how do you feel so far about The Nanny? Do you get it? Do you get the hype behind it? Are you
absolutely
okay?
I definitely get the hype. I definitely understand it. I don't think I've ever talked about one of the other sitcoms that I used to watch growing up. I think it was. I'm gonna Google this because I'm gonna get it wrong. I just need to make sure.
Step by Step.
No.
Full House.
I used to watch.
Family Matters.
Yes, My Wife and Kids.
Oh,
2001. Loved that sitcom.
That came out when I was like in middle school.
Yeah, same. So I think that's like when I was like around that time to start checking out like all of what sitcoms were, the comedy. The entire cast was so good. The storylines were great. I loved that the kids started getting older and they started covering more intense topics such as pregnancy.
You know who also did that? Seventh Heaven, bitch.
Seventh Heaven? I never understood
that wasn't a sitcom. It was a very serious Christian drama. Did you ever watch?
I have seen, I think, one episode of Seventh Heaven and I was bored out of my mind.
Oh, I loved Seventh Heaven. And I grew up in the church, but I wasn't somebody who was I just kind of said that I believed in God because that's what everybody around me was doing. And I think to a certain extent I do. I kind of consider myself agnostic with a Christian lens in that I don't claim to know what's out there or beyond, nor do I deny anything. I feel like anything's...
You accept the reality that there could be a God.
Exactly. And that I choose to frame that existence as God because that's what I grew up with. But it could be anything. You call it Mother Nature, you call it the Force. I don't care what you call it, but it could be whatever, right? But regardless...
I was going to say, I love that we're talking about sitcoms and you just went on a whole tangent talking about religion. You got deep on us.
Oh, I got deep. Oh, well, you better hold your horses because Seventh Heaven, bitch. They had this episode. Little Ruthie, I want you at some point. I think it's important for our friendship that you look up the episode, and you don't have to watch the whole episode. I think they'll probably do 7 minutes or whatever of it. It's when when the oldest brother or the older sister, one of the two, who I think was Jessica Biel's character actually, got caught with cigarettes or or one joint or something like that.
Oh my God.
And Simon, who is like the younger brother with the like blonde bowl cut, was like, I trusted you, and got like so upset. And Ruthie, who was like the youngest sister, was just like, this is horrible, and like cried. And I just remember as like a little kid watching it, being like, oh my God, this is what cigarettes does to people's families. And then now I watch it and I'm like, that's hysterical.
Oh,
that is a
my
sitcom.
God.
It's drama at its best.
That is actually hilarious. That I don't know why, but like when I associate, okay, you'll have to correct me. Seventh Heaven, was that the show that literally for the entirety of it there was not a single black person on camera? Because I remember hearing a factoid.
That might have been. So Seventh Heaven, they had 7 people in the family, 5 kids, 2 parents. Then they wrote into the script that the mother got pregnant again. But in order to keep it Seventh Heaven, she had to have twin boys. So then it was 7 kids. So that's how they kept it up. So in the show, she had twin boys. That's and stupid. The guy who played the father, who was the pastor, the reverend, IRL, huge fucking pervert, pedophile. And they found this out years later that he was a full-on pedophile.
Sounds awful. Nothing about this sounds appetizing. But
isn't that awful?
I just remember this show getting like grilled to hell for the complete lack of black characters.
Oh,
black
I'm sure.
Representation. Like,
it wouldn't shock me.
Awful.
It had like, what's the guy's name? Like Barry something was like the older brother. Jessica Biel was the oldest sister. Beverly Mitchell was the middle sister who had like the Jan like Marsha kind of thing. I mean, it was just like, oh, girl, they had moments. The
sitcoms be crazy, yo. And oh, go on.
Crazy. No. I was just going to say, and like, that wasn't even a sitcom. That was just what Beth watched to pass the time.
Yeah. You did say that. Yeah, it definitely wasn't a sitcom. They definitely did not also film in front of an audience for Seventh Heaven.
Like the Nanny does.
Yeah, like the Nanny.
But guess where I went this past weekend, Dylan?
What?
I went to Flushing, Queens this past weekend.
How was it? You want to tell me everything about it.
So what I didn't realize is that Flushing, Queens now is the Chinatown in Queens.
Oh.
And so on Saturday, my cousin brought me to Chinatown in Brooklyn, well, I already know what Chinatown in Manhattan was, so we didn't go there. And then we went to Chinatown in Queens. All this took place on September 11th. It was actually kind of powerful. I went to like I didn't go to fucking Staten Island so sorry for anybody who's in Staten Island, but I went to like the 4 other boroughs and kind of got to see at night the memorial lights from all the different boroughs, which was kind of cool because my cousin was driving me around. The Chinatown in Brooklyn is has been hit very hard by COVID. There's a lot of like storefronts that are closed and such. It's not, great.
Yeah.
You know what Chinatown in Manhattan looks like, which is very touristy at the end of the day. Like it's a lot of like street vendors and like
it's touristy and compact.
Compact, yeah. Chinatown in Flushing, Queens is like being in China, like being in a major city in China. It was so cool. I felt like I was like walking through Shanghai or something like that.
That's cool.
And they had a whole bunch of really cool restaurants, like neon lights, like lit up, like people with like Chinese street fashion. Like it was really, really cool. But I went and I got Szechuan, this is considered to be like one of the best, if not the best Szechuan place in the city. And so my cousin and I went there, and for those that don't know, Szechuan Chinese food is very spicy. And Dylan and his husband, a couple other friends and myself went to a place here in Brooklyn that served Szechuan, and we thought it was really good. And it was spicy, but you could control the heat level and all that kind of stuff. I have since learned that was Szechuan for white people, because that was like, yes, it was Szechuan food, but it was like, let's introduce this to white people kind of food, right? I went there. Szechuan peppercorns are literally, first of all, I guess you're not supposed to eat them after I ate like 15 of them, like a lot of them. They're designed to numb your mouth. And so you can eat more chilies and such. And my face was tingling. I was sweating. I was crying. I had snot coming out. I was real attractive. And the best part is, like, my cousin, we ordered this pineapple fried rice. They nowhere on the menu did it say I had scallop or that I had shrimp in it. I'm sitting there eating it, and then I go, I can't tell if my throat is because of the shrimp because I'm allergic, or if it's because of the heat.
Oh my God.
I had to stop eating. So I sat there like this, like, for like, it was so dramatic. But I just got white rice and just kind of swallowed that down. And then after about a half an hour, my body kind of calmed down a little bit. So, good times.
Girl, Flushing, Queens. Check it out.
But that's not what I expected. It's a very residential area besides like that specific part of Flushing. But yeah, it was really interesting. It was kind of cool to be like, hey, this is what Flushing, Queens looks like in 2021.
That's super cool. I wish we could have gone out there when I was in town. Well, I have to go out now.
We're going to have to come back, and we're going to have Rob drive us around. That's my cousin.
Yeah, we could like record an episode from Flushing, Queens.
Don't even tempt me. Let's do it. We'll go back to the Szechuan Mountain House. That's what the name of the restaurant was. Very cool aesthetic in there. It was like you were in the mountains of China. It was really cool.
Ooh, that actually sounds super cool. Like I would absolutely really cool. Check that out. But yes, let's get into this episode.
12 minutes in. Shall we talk about the actual episode now?
No, it's all right. We love the banter. But this is The Nanny, Season 2, Episode 2, The Playwright.
She was there. That's how she became the nanny.
All right. So this episode, if I had to give it a spicy Szechuan rating, I would give this a 9 out of 10. Thought it was pretty good.
Wow. In my mind, I give it a 7. But I'm here for the 9. That's great.
I thought it was pretty good. Actually, no, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Just because Fran's admirer was really annoying. And like,
do you know who that actor is?
I don't know his name. I absolutely
Richard Kind is his name.
Okay.
He's kind of like
so many things.
He's been in a lot of things. He's a character actor, and he's also a Broadway actor. He was one of the replacements for Nathan Lane in The Producers on Broadway. He plays a lot of like very Jewish New Yorker kind of characters. So,
I can't remember specific films that I remember him in.
History of the World Part 2, Mel Brooks.
Like
The Inquisition. Oh no, no. That's when he did the Kennedy honor. Whatever. I know he's been in Mel Brooks movies. But.
Yeah, he's very famous. I just don't know his name. Not famous enough for me to know his name, but I definitely recognize the face and especially the voice. His voice is very like iconic. He does a lot of voice acting work as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So this episode, the reason I gave it an 8 out of 10, it's hilarious. There's so many great funny moments. I'm honestly not even going to dig on this because it doesn't like obviously age well because of the source material for 2021. But I still think that like with a 90s lens, I still thought it was pretty funny. It's nothing to like ruffle any feathers with, but I actually enjoyed it. I think the only reason is that character gets very grating and it's gross because he has a happy ending by the end of it. And so you're like, great, we're rewarding his like shitty behavior and like the shitty stuff he did to Fran. So like that left a sour taste in my mouth, but that sour taste instantly went away when I like the rest of the episode was so funny, especially the Brighton and Brooke story that like carried for me.
It was a good one. There's also like a lot of like little homages to like LGBTQ people and gay culture and such in this too, which is I like love, not just because of the Maggie storyline, but even the beginning with like Niles's underwear and like
his like thongs,
his zebra print, like
he's like those aren't Maxwell's
bikinis, bikini bottom.
I loved it. I think what I'm most shocked about so far being this only 2 episodes into season 2 is how fucking great Brighton's been. He's in 2 episodes now that are kind of centered about him back to back, and he's killing it. Like
I think this is kind of needed too, because now that I've watched this through your lens, we don't get a lot of Brighton centered episodes
we don't.
season 1. I think we only get one with him having major plot points and moments in other episodes, but these are like 2 centered episodes about him.
Yeah, it seems like how season 1 was more focused on Gracie. This season is more about Brighton growing up and maybe entering puberty. And so that's kind of like where they're going for this, like this timeline of sorts. So it, like in season 1, it was about like Gracie's mental health. And this one, it's more about like Maxwell trying to be a good dad to his son, and like a son that is quickly growing up, hitting puberty, and like needing to have a father there to like teach him the ways, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And I actually really like that for like a second season storyline, especially because Brighton's actor is going to be growing up very quickly, very soon.
Yeah, definitely.
He's definitely at that age where he's going to start getting like a growth spurt, and like his voice is going to start deepening, you know, stuff like that. And so they have to like kind of include that into this whole arc, because it'd be really weird for them not to like use it. Because no,
definitely not.
And they should definitely use it before he hits puberty, because then it's like awkward, because then you're making jokes at his expense for the fact that he's going through puberty. So
yeah, and it's
good.
What I like about this too is that you see a different side of Maxwell as a father when he's dealing with Brighton versus when he's dealing with Gracie versus when he's dealing with Maggie. And we already know he has double standards from the girls in Brighton. Like we already know that. But in this episode, and I know this is out of order, but I always love that moment where he's like, do you want to have a talk before you go? And that kind of thing. And just like that moment where like he's so invested on like setting his son up for like success on like his taking a girl to the dance is like really, really cute to me. In the same way that like you have that moment in the season finale with him and Gracie in like, you know, where he's like in the bed with her, you know, and we've had these small moments with him and Maggie so far. But you know, there's moments where like you see him blossom into this caring, attentive father, and like those moments I just love so much. And I'm just like, oh, I love you, Maxwell.
Yeah, it's super cute, it's super adorable, and I really did like it. So let's get into like the breakdown.
Yeah, let's do it.
We start off with a very ugly red and black vest that Fran is wearing. Holy
so bad
shit, with like the gross like fake crystal heart buttons on it. And
I thought that was fabulous. I don't know what you're talking about.
Girl, Fabulous didn't hit you in the face. You didn't see it coming. It is hiding in the bushes.
But here's the thing, still better than 90% of the looks at the Met Ball.
Absolutely not. That vest, a crime. A crime.
You know what's also a crime? People who wear a bland suit to the Met Gala and nothing else. So I'd rather see that and say, ew. At least there's an attempt.
That's true. And this is a direct call out to you, Mr. Elliot Page.
No, I give Elliot Page a pass. You get to, you know what, your newfound, quote unquote, newfound privilege. That's actually a really rude way of me saying you get to have the pass to not have to like do all the effort and work that you've had to do before. You get the pass for me. That's fine. But this is a one-time warning.
Who was that other guy? There was a guy that had a really ugly suit that everyone was talking about.
Timothy Chalamet.
Maybe.
Everybody, the white one that was like...
Yeah, I mean, if you put effort in, I like it. Like, even if it's ugly, you like tried something.
Also,
I'll give him bare minimum points. Someone to like.
How many people actually had American themed stuff like Today in America or whatever? I was like, fuck that. Nothing fit the theme. Like, I think they just need to stop doing themes, because they tried doing camp a couple of years ago and like 3 people knew what the assignment was.
Yeah.
Lil Nas X comes to this one. I'm like, well, that's camp. Look at the reveals. Look at that's camp. What does that have to do with America?
I thought the theme was glittering glam or something.
No,
like
it was like America now and then or something like that.
Oh,
It
weird.
was ridiculously bad. Like nobody got the assignment.
Well, neither did Fran, because this
It's
vest,
true.
not it. It is ugly. But you know what is cute? That thong that Niles. I don't want to see him in it, but I love that thought.
I do.
I love that thought for him. It's so cute just seeing Fran like do this laundry, and then this is when Brighton and Brooke show up. They're working on a science project, and Brooke is really that girl, like that girl who, hi guys, like you know, super nerdy, super nasally. You all right?
Yeah, there's fire truck right outside my apartment
Oh.
again.
I was like, another ghost, another paranormal activity moment.
No, just another day, another fire
day in New
truck
York.
going across the street.
No, but this Brooke girl, she is really interesting because I kind of had a feeling that there was going to be a reveal by the end that she was going to look very glamorous, just because
She's all that.
Yeah, it was very like, oh, you're trying to make this girl look kind of gross, and she didn't even look that gross. She just like had her hair
She
put
was
up.
cute.
Yeah, she like looked adorable.
When I was her age, I was a train wreck, and I still look the same, which is what's so sad. But like, I at least know how to carry myself now to a certain extent. Oh, honey,
I'm kidding.
to a certain extent, I said, watch it. No, there are pictures, Dylan. Like my dad used to literally take my photos and like, you know, we'd put the next school year in front of the last one and that kind of thing. And we got to my senior year. My dad went, let's go through all of your photos together. And I went, oh, okay. I'm going kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. He gets to fourth grade and goes, this is where the ugly stage began. And I went, and then he went fifth grade. Ugh. Sixth grade. Ooh. Seventh grade. What are you doing? Eighth grade. Oh, Beth. No. Ninth grade. Ooh. 10th grade. Okay. 11th grade. And we're there. Okay. She had contacts now. We're good to go. Like it was awful. It's awful. And every girl, for the most part, goes through an ugly stage, but mine lasted years, bitch. 4th through 10th grade, 6 years.
See, when I was in middle school, I was fucking hot. I was so fucking hot. Oh my God, I hit high school and I was like, like, you know, I wasn't. I was fucking ugly. And I had a really gross, like huge mop of hair on my head.
Oh, but that was the style though.
Mine was not by choice. And my hair is so weird. So it all sways to the right, even the left side. So like the left side, there would be no like weird like fringe part, but the right had this massive amount of just like windswept like pieces of hair because my hair just naturally just wants to go that way. That's why when I swoop, it always swoops to the right naturally. It like naturally wants to do that. So I'm like, all right,
crazy.
Well, guess I'm doing a swoop hair for the rest of my life.
Well, I used to, because I wanted my hair to be straight and not wavy, I used to like when my hair was wet, go like this with my hair and thought that this would do what I wanted it to do to be straight. And
it didn't because you're stupid.
No, it didn't. But you know what? I actually do have pretty straight hair now.
Yeah.
So apparently it worked.
And it does. So just, you know,
just put your hair between your hands and smooth it out like that and you're good to go. Okay, getting back to the episode.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, back to the episode. I'm
sorry.
What?
Angela said we should rename our show Hot Mess Tangents. And you know what? There's a part of me that's like, you know what? You're right.
You're right. We do go on a lot of tangents. But so Brooke shows up and this is where Brighton kind of expresses to Fran after Brooke like walks away. He's like, I'm not gonna ask her out. Like this, like the Fran's dance. Like teasing him. Yeah, I'm not gonna ask her out to the dance.
Well, this is because Brooke is laying it on pretty thick where she's going, so Brighton, have you asked anybody to the dance yet? And he said, yeah, I got a couple feelers out there. I'm trying to figure. And she's like, oh, so you don't have a date either? Which I was like,
She read him. She
read
really
him
did.
like a book, bitch. And then she was like, yeah, I guess I'm just going to go and be by myself in the corner. And he's like, cool, then you've got a plan. And then she walks away to go like take her inhaler or something like that. And then Fran gets into
and
him.
so this is like the foundation for this episode because Brighton ends up using what Fran says here back on Fran. And where she's just basically like, no, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not. Just, God's gonna judge you for not taking that girl out. And so Brighton is like, oh, fine, whatever. I'll ask her out after like realizing that he needs to get an A on the science project. And if he dates her or takes her out on this date, he might be able to take her, might be able to get an A on the science project. There's a really funny joke at this point about the hokey pokey and 2 left feet, about this guy that Fran went to the dance with.
Yeah.
And
he literally had 2 left feet.
No,
it was a
literally
freak thing.
Had 2 front teeth. Yeah, not 2 front teeth. What am I?
You put your left tooth in.
Yeah. So this is really exciting. We finally get to see Brighton's school, like where he goes to school. New set change, new season, new set, and
new money.
Yeah, new money. Fran's got this really cute dress on that I think we may have seen in season 1. I'm not 100% sure. It's very cute and awful. Brighton does rude shit. He lies to the boys right in front of Brooke when Brooke's like, so are you going to come pick me up for the dance? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or she doesn't even say dance. You're going to come pick me up? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like in front of the boys as if he's never talked to her. Really rude. Brighton's clearly embarrassed to be around Brooke. And
sends her off crying. And here's the other thing. This is right after he, like, the boys go, ooh, Sheffield, like about the Fran coming to pick him up and being like, ooh, she's hot. And he's like, no, she's just a nanny. But, she wants me. Like playing it up. And I'm just like, ugh, that is every 7th grade boy, like ever. Like just want to smack them. Like, no.
My straight ass or my gay ass.
My straight ass. Words that you have never said before. My straight ass.
My straight ass. I also teach ballet and do makeup.
With your apartment roommate, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck. So then we get this like really shitty, terrible green screen scene in a taxi, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, they've got budget, but they don't have budget.
Do you know where I know exactly which avenue that was in New York City. That was the right avenue for them to be talking about. They said they were at 68th Street, blah, blah, blah. They were on Park Ave. And behind them was like the MetLife building. And so I was like, I know what exactly that is because they're moving uptown. So that actually was exactly where they're supposed to be because they're supposed to live off of Park Avenue.
That's interesting. Okay. Coming up with a lore dump for the episode. That's
the lore dump. For the nanny.
So then we get this taxi driver, Jeffrey Needleman, who Fran happens to know because they went to school together and she was his bully. Apparently the entire school bullied this guy. And Fran just gets so unlucky because Jeffrey is obsessed with her. He wants everything to do with her. He wants to date her. He wants to be with her. And Brighton, the little shit that he is, turns the argument that Fran had made about him dating Brooke on Fran to go on a date with Jeffrey. And it worked.
God's going to judge her. And she also said something in the taxi as like, it's never too late to right a wrong that you've done to somebody and that kind of thing. So, it's he wants to go out on a date with her, and Brighton basically pressures her right into accepting because you do have Saturday off, Fran.
And she's like, I don't, because I'm going to go to the fucking hospital because I
visit that little boy who had that tragic high heel in the tuchus accident.
Oh, I thought she said, I'm going to be in the hospital because I'm going to fuck your dad because that's what I'm hoping happens.
I want your dad to blow my back out.
Could you imagine if she said that to fucking Brighton in the taxi? She's just like, I really want your dad to blow my back out. Can you just imagine telling anyone's kid that? Now my head is in a space. You go on like a first date with someone and you happen to meet their kid. You're like, I can't wait till your dad blows my back out.
I just love the idea that she's been a nanny with him for a year and she just feels comfortable enough to tell him, I can't wait for your dad to blow my back.
That's so stupid. And Brian's face is just like, what?
Then Richard Kine's character, Jeffrey Needleman's just like, well, if I can't have you, nobody else can. It just like drives off the road. All because she wanted her back blown out by Maxwell. Oh, that's so funny.
So then in the next scene, we get this sickening bathrobe that Fran's in. Oh, I almost made it the outfit of the episode. That bathrobe was so cute.
But we've seen this one before too.
Have we?
Yeah, this is the one that she wears in like the first or second episode where she comes down and goes, "Good morning," and then they go, "We dress for breakfast," and that kind of thing. So we've seen her in this a few times. This is a kind of a recurring bathrobe, but it is excellent every time we see it.
It's definitely not my outfit of the episode, but it almost was because it's super cute. But then the read of the episode. Niles going in on Cece being a terrible lay.
This is always in a compilation video of the best reads that Niles has against Cece.
It was so perfectly timed. And I don't understand how no one on that set fucking bust out laughing after he said it. Basically, she's like setting up, she's like trying to convince Maxwell to read this manuscript that one of her friends had written.
Her psychiatrist.
And so she's like kind of going in like saying,
come on, Maxwell, it'll only take a few minutes and you don't even have to like it.
Yeah.
There's a speech she knows by heart.
Yeah. Exactly. And then just, it was so perfectly timed. So then we have this other B plot that comes in where Maggie has a crush on Gracie's clearly gay ballet teacher.
Yep.
And I just love that in season 2, they're really embracing the gay. They know the gays are watching the show from
100%.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is really interesting is that there was an interview that Fran did not too long ago where they talked about the lack of representation of like queer representation on the show. Like oftentimes just like any other sitcom, being gay is more of a punchline rather than like something that's accepted. And so I think that it's obvious that there's an issue there. You have to really remember the time frame with which this was filmed, not saying that it's okay. But she said that she really fought to try to get more representation on the show. It's just that CBS would not let her. This was before Ellen comes out. This is before, this was one of the shows, I'm not going to say this paved the way, but this was one of the shows where they tried to find ways to like say like, hey, gay people exist. And yes, there can be a punchline about it and that kind of thing. But instead of making the person a punchline, we want to make it about how people react to that person as the punchline.
It's never been punching down. They've never punched
down no. And that's one thing that I really like about this show is that there will be moments where you look back, and we've already seen a few of them in the first season where you kind of go, well, that didn't age the best, but overall it's not punching down at people like you said. It's just not phrasing those jokes or doing the jokes at all that we would do in 2021. And so one of the things that she talks about is saying, hey, like, I wanted more representation. I wanted more people of color. I wanted these things. CBS was not there. Studio really, I didn't understand how much studios, especially in the 90s and in the 80s, were so controlling. Like they basically wrote what was going on. Like the writers would have to present everything to the studios and the studios would have to sign off on like every joke kind of thing.
Damn.
And so it's one of those situations where she kind of was like, giving an inch in order to get a mile kind of thing.
And the writers signed off on dick humor in the locker room. Love that.
Hey, so did the studio. Thanks,
Good.
Jeff Zuckerberg. Or not Zuckerberg. What's his name? Whatever.
I was like, where? Who? Okay.
I forgot what his last name is. Something. Zelensky.
Zilcho Marco B. Boop.
Marco Beep Boop. Marco Beep Boop.
Zilcho Marco B. Boop.
Balagna.
Balagna. I fucking love that. So then we get dun da 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 the outfit of the episode. Fran's date outfit is so cute.
It's so
Very
cute.
Very 90s.
It was very nice. That was a short skirt too.
Oh yeah, her pussy. It was aired out, ready for the gods.
I do. I like that. Just like the thick, like stripes on it, and like the mini skirt portion.
You know what? Wait, you know what it was giving me? Cheesecake Factory. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you see it?
I do.
The patterns, the swirls.
I do.
It's giving me Cheesecake Factory.
Oh,
because
man.
let's be real, Cheesecake Factory doesn't understand what its decorations are.
No.
But that was giving Cheesecake Factory.
Well, okay, it doesn't have to know what its like decorations are because it doesn't know what its menu is. Its menu is everything under the sun. Like that is Cheesecake Factory. Everything's frozen. It also is everything is 7,000 calories. Like,
Yes.
even their skinny menu is like, would you like something that's only 1,500 calories?
You're like, oh my God, yes, I will.
I'll take the light chicken Alfredo. Thank you. It's
like,
the same recipe, except for they cut it in half in the portion. It's just
honestly, it is. Their skinny menu is basically half the portion. Yeah. And
that's all it is.
They're all like, it's dripping in trans fats, but who's counting?
Who cares?
Yeah. It was definitely super cute. It definitely was very 90s. I loved this outfit. I'm glad that there was a jacket with it because I feel like if there wasn't a jacket, it would just be it would make her look lumpy because of like how the stripes looked. But overall, thought it was great, and I loved that it was actually a short skirt. I think if it was like a longer dress, it would look weird. So,
and this is actually I kind of have now realized this upon this rewatch. We have seen her wear short things before. We haven't seen anything yet. This is the beginning of what we're starting to see as the iconic Fran style. We haven't really seen it too much. Yeah. I'm excited about it now. We start seeing the mini skirts. We start seeing the really tight fitting things. And you were going to
patterns.
Yes, 100%. You were going to start seeing like she moves away from more of the vests and puffy things to this more like fitted, tight kind of silhouette. Mm-hmm.
Kinda. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
with black like stockings kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm here for it. Sign me the hell up.
Oh, it's hot.
So basically during this date with Jeffrey, Fran learns that Jeffrey has written a play, like a manuscript for a play, and she doesn't let loose, but she almost does, that she works for Maxwell Sheffield, who's obviously, sorry if you hear Nigel, my husband. He's playing a horror game. He's making a guest appearance in the podcast. So we learned that
excuse me.
She almost lets loose about Maxwell. And then Jeffrey gives Fran, as a gift on this date, an old makeup palette that got taken away when they were in high school.
Which, by the way,
Creep.
Those, first of all, those expire like within like a year. Secondly, who holds on to something that long like that?
Red
flags. Red flags.
Is loneliness. That is desperation. And that is not cute. If any of you listening, oh wait, go on. What?
I was just gonna say, it's obsessiveness. It's borderline stalking. It's, I mean, no, but seriously, it goes beyond just being like, oh, it's creepy, to the point where it's like, I'd be looking for a restraining order.
Oh yeah, and she looks creeped out too. Like
she should be. She's like, how sweet and really weird of you.
Yeah, it's really weird. I was gonna say, if anyone listening has anything that you still have from high school, throw it away, because unless it brings you joy, like, stop holding on to that.
No. If you have something you have your own from high school, whatever.
No,
I don't give
throw
a
it away.
shit. If
Throw it away.
you have something of somebody else's that they don't know that you have, that's creepy.
Nope, just throw anything away from high school. Just do it. No,
My yearbook. Bye.
yeah, throw it away. Doesn't bring you joy. Get
I
over it.
did find a set of earrings from high school the other day, and I was like, gross, and I threw them out.
I'm proud of you.
They were from Claire's, so you know that they were jankety at this point.
Girl, they're from Claire.
They were like green, and I was like, ew, and just threw them out.
Maybe your dad was onto something. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The look on your face.
Wow, I didn't come here to be read.
No, I'm kidding.
Except for I did, and that's what I do. Okay.
As I'm holding my glass of wine. So then we get into this like fucking weird section, but it was so cute, where they do the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently
Middle of the restaurant. At a nice restaurant.
Middle of the restaurant, you can clearly see the chalk line that the queue line. They're supposed to like go for the camera. Like the camera pans up a little bit too far,
too
up.
high.
You clearly see this giant white chalk line on the floor.
It's so good.
They're supposed to dance on. It's so silly, but they got the groove. They did the hustle.
It is just a fun little moment. This is more of an homage to the fact that one of Fran's first acting jobs was in Saturday Night Fever.
I didn't know that.
So she was in the disco. She did disco.
That's cool. It's good to know.
I think she dances with John Travolta at one point. I think that's like her only scene. Yeah.
Okay, I need to look this up because I think I know the scene you're talking about. Interesting.
She's in it.
I did not know she was in it.
It's like one of her first acting credits.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do the hustle and they actually have fun. They both do a great job. And she's like, you know what? This date wasn't so bad. But then, of course, Jeffrey has to take it one step too far and proposes to her in the restaurant, which is like really awkward. And then he's like threatening suicide if she doesn't say no, which red flag alert, like hella red flag alert.
To make that, I mean, we all know that this is a sitcom and this is the 90s and like whatever, but like we are grown now in 2021. Like that ain't cute. That ain't cute at all. You should never, I don't care what gender you are or what gender your partner or ex-partner or someone that you're dating is. No. What we are never going to do is gaslight somebody into like staying with you or doing something that you want and manipulate them because like you're going to threaten to kill yourself over it.
Yeah.
Like you need severe help for that. Of course, it's the 90s, it's the Nanny, so they make it like, oh, it's going to be funny and that kind of thing. But this is really kind of a triggering thing for a lot of people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Triggering. And that's why I rated this like an 8. Probably should say a 7, but I'm going to rate it an 8. So that was pretty funny. But that's why it's like gross because he ends up like getting his way in the end, kind of where something good happens to this guy. I don't care how pathetic you are. Don't be a creep. So then basically Fran says she'll do anything to stop him because he is currently on the edge of this building and potentially going to jump off of it. And so he's like, just sleep with me.
If you had a second choice.
Go on a second date.
Do you have a third one?
And then that's, he doesn't really have anything. And so she lets loose that she knows Maxwell Sheffield and that she is willing to show his manuscript to Maxwell Sheffield if he promises he will not jump off this building. So meanwhile, while this is all happening, Brooke and Brighton are back at the Sheffield household working on a science project, and it happens to be the typical potato and water and growing it experiment. And Brighton brings up, he's like, I don't think this is going to get us an A+. And she's like, yeah, I just kind of want to see what a D feels like. And I was I was literally expecting Niles to pop around the corner and be like, CC relates or something like that. Like,
I love that you're anticipating what the lines are going to be.
Yes,
I like this.
I was like, "Where's Niles? This is perfect opportunity to read." There was no read, so you can have that one for free, Nanny. Take a time machine, you can add that in. But Brooke is like purposely doing bad because Brighton embarrassed her in front of all of those guys, and
we stan a queen. We stan a queen that doesn't let men walk over her, and she says, fuck that. I'm going to ruin your day. I'm going to ruin your life if you're going to try to do that for me. And what?
Yeah. And she storms out of that house being like, men. And I'm like, yes, girl. Tell them.
Right.
So Maxwell shows up and is, what was that all about? Like, what's going on there? And I apologize. It's still late.
It's a late
night. And that's when Brighton pipes up and he says, that bitch stole my money.
I got 99 problems and a bitch is definitely one of them, Father. How do I help? No. Brighton basically says, how come women are so sensitive? And Maxwell they're just different people. And they don't react in the same way as we do. And a very genderized talk. And what I love about this, and this is something I love constantly in this series, is that we will always hear Maxwell try to uphold toxic masculinity only to be immediately brought down by Fran or by Niles. And so that's another thing that I really applaud the show for, is that while they do participate in like the gender binary and gender roles and those kind of things, they also very much call it out at times. And I'm here for it. Like the fact that Maxwell's a Broadway producer that cares this much about masculinity to me is just like the funniest thing in the fucking world.
It's so silly. Like it makes no sense. And so then this is like the whole gag of Maxwell being like super sensitive, even though he's like calling out women for being super sensitive. And then we also get this scene where Maggie is showing Fran that she got her makeup done by Gracie's ballet teacher.
Isn't he so cute? Eat my makeup.
It's so funny because let's be real here. Maggie is definitely going to grow up to be a hag. Like she's
okay.
Definitely.
As a hag myself.
Yes.
Hi. I'm Beth. I'm a hag. I have had many a romantic crush on many a gay man. I've also been on the other side of it where I've had gay men in high school have crushes on me. I did not reciprocate. And then they have come out later. So I understand this. I had one friend in college. I hate to call you out, Mitch. I love you to God.
Mitch.
I thought Mitch was just the cutest. He was so talented. I was abroad when he started at my school, and then I came back and we were in the select choir together, and everyone was like, I think Mitch is gay. And I'm like, he's not gay because he said he's not gay, and he's sick of when people say that he's gay and he's not gay. So like, let's respect what he is, shall we? Also, I have a huge crush on him, so therefore I hope he's not gay. And like all the obvious signs were there, and I just miss them all.
He's like, oh, honey, I can't wait to suck a mean dick. And like,
and I'm like, he's so not gay. But eventually he comes out, and I was just like, okay, well, good for you. No, just kidding. But like, but it is one of those things that like is so funny that like there are women who just at that age, if you're not exposed to LGBTQIA plus people and their history and culture, because we are not taught that kind of stuff in high school. Yeah. This is something that's actually really interesting to navigate as somebody who has been through that before, where you looked around and there weren't that many gay kids in my school or anything,
No, yeah, I think it's like super interesting. And
so I love that we get to see it with Maggie.
Yeah, it's so funny too. It's so funny. So then we get to Max, like Fran tells Maxwell about the situation, and it takes him a bit to understand like what, like it's being there. She's being serious.
The gravity of it.
Yeah, the gravity of the situation. So he runs off to go read this manuscript, and I love the fact that like it's so beaten over our head that he won't give any favors to Cece, but he will drop everything to help Fran. And this is like no exception here. And so so he's reading through the manuscript, and there is a hilarious line where they're talking about like specific manuscripts that Maxwell's passed on. And Cats was one of them. And he's like, it was singing Pussycat People. What was I to do?
I just want you to know, this is the first time that we hear that he passed on Cats. This is a recurring joke.
Good.
This is important for the series. They will build upon this so much. And I love it so much. I didn't realize that this was the first time until I've done this series with you, because I just kind of watch the episodes over and over and over, and I don't have to think about it. So this is fun that I'm like, this is the first time they mentioned he passed on Cats.
I've got some funny stories about Cats, but if there's more Cats related stuff to come in the future, I will wait. I will wait to tell the stories during those, because it's pretty funny. Like some of my childhood memories of Cats.
Ugh, I hate that show.
I do too. I fucking hate Cats.
I don't like Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. I don't like Phantom of the Opera. I don't like Phantom of the Opera.
A dick. Phantom of the Opera.
I don't like Sunset Boulevard. I don't like Cats. The only one I do like a little bit is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. But I'm just not a fan. I don't like operas for the most part. You love it?
I love Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, I hate it. I can't.
It's so good.
I do like the Phantom of the Opera song. Well,
the story is shit. The story is shit.
It's abusive as fuck.
Yeah, but love the musical. Like
the only song I like of that is that blah, 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 blah. Like it's like the main song that everybody knows.
Yeah, that's a good one. Now I need to listen to Phantom of the Opera after this. So then, surprisingly, Maxwell agrees to take on the manuscript. Gross, boo, boo, boo. I mean, if it's a good manuscript, go for it. I mean, it's a good opportunity, but also boo that this man is getting good opportunities for all of his abusive behavior. But joke's on him. I was really hoping they killed him off here because I thought it'd be hilarious. He ends up falling off the building and survives. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I know we're getting like long on time. I feel like if he had died, it would have said a much better message of like, oh, you want to like be abusive and like say all this stuff? Well, there you go. There's the building. Jump off it. And he didn't mean to jump off it. He like accidentally falls off of it.
He gets excited because his play is getting optioned.
But I think it would have been really funny if they had killed him off. And I thought it would have sent a much better message, which is awful to say, but it's true.
It is true, though.
But he does end up surviving. He falls on a pile of trash. Thank you, New York. For that.
Thank God we live in New York.
Which is surprising because when I was in New York, I must have gone like at a good time. There was not a lot of trash everywhere.
Okay, now that all the students and everything are back in the city, it's trash central. I have had trash outside of my apartment here's the other thing. You stayed with me before anybody else moved into this building.
That's true.
I've had trash outside my apartment every single day. I also love that the sidewalks in New York, like it's a Bermuda Triangle. You can be like today, I had extra towels, some of the towels that I had here that I found out you can't donate those to Goodwill. They won't take towels and they won't take bedding. Understandable. Yeah. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just throw these out. But I'm not going to just put them like in the normal garbage bag with everything else and throw them away. I put them in an open bag so people could see what was in them. Not even 10 minutes later, somebody took them. So
that's good, though.
Yeah, that's exactly why. So you sit there and you're like, somebody's using this.
That's Boom. Good. That's good. Look at you being a nice New Yorker.
Yeah. Illegally putting things on the sidewalk so that other people can take them. Stab.
Dab. So then we get to the last kind of section of this episode where Brighton is all dressed up for his the dance that he's going to be going to
in the
and
most
she looks
90s vest of all time.
looks so fucking ugly. I'm like, oh, what is with these vests? I hate it. That trend cannot come back. Please, can we just leave that in the
94, baby.
90s?
94, the year of the vests.
But ooh, girl. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say the outfit of the episode was Friends?
Date dress.
It's not. The outfit of the episode is Brooke's fucking glow up dress. I forgot. I had written that as the outfit of the episode.
She looks so good. Then Brooke showed her up.
Yeah,
no, Brooke had
really did.
by far the best outfit of the episode.
Yeah, it was a really cute dress. You could wear that today and it would still work. Like it was. I thought it was cute.
Have you ever seen Not Another Teen Movie? It's the spoof movie that makes fun of all the teen movies.
Yes, I have seen that one. Okay,
it's Chris Evans' first movie of all
yeah,
time.
You can see his butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he also does the whipped cream all over.
Yeah.
Regardless,
and he gets the piece of corn in his ass with the whipped cream, or it's something. It's something sticking out of his ass. Look it up.
I don't know that's him. I can't remember. Regardless,
yeah.
I love that when they make fun of She's All That. I can't not think about this. It's they go and remove her glasses and they go, oh my God, she's hot. That's all they had to do. And I just love that. I can't look at Brooke come in here and just think she's just not wearing glasses anymore.
Can you and I just rewatch that film? Because that movie is so stupid.
Which one?
No, Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, I'm totally here for that.
It's
the
so
old
stupid.
woman doing the kissing with all the saliva always
Oh God, that part. She's in the art class or something. It's just I never kissed someone like this before.
And she's 85 years old. I've never been kissed.
Yeah, I've never been kissed.
And then oh God, there's so many good parts.
There's also a horror movie version of that. It's I Know What You Did Last Friday the 13th or something like that. In the same vein as Not Another Teen Movie. So
which was also in the same vein as scary movies and Dance Flick. Did you ever watch Dance Flick?
No. That's when it started getting weird. They started doing
I knew Dance Flick was going to be awful. My friend and I decided we wanted to purposely go see that.
In the theater? You went and saw it in a theater?
Yeah, we went and saw it in the theater. We were in high school. We were like, this is going to be awful. Let's go watch it. And we watched it. It was awful. And we just laughed the entire way through and just made fun of it vocally because nobody else was in the theater. So we're like, this is perfect. We'll just scream and shout. So there's one part where one of the girls in high school is a teen mom and she just puts her baby in her locker in between classes.
Oh my God, yes. No, they do that in I think Not Another Teen Movie. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
I fucking love it. That's
anyway.
So, so then we get obviously Brooke looking really cute. They go off to their dance. And I really liked that scene where Max was like, do you need the talk? And then later Brighton's like, oh, I might need that talk. It's like, no. You'll be fine. But I want Maxwell to give me the talk.
Yeah. What talk do you think he was going to say?
What if he was just never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
I want you to tread very carefully. These are underage children.
No, I know. I was thinking it from a Maxwell lens.
Oh, okay.
Could you imagine Maxwell just saying very inappropriate for the age? Make sure not to come in her, son. Just
Can you imagine me son, do you want the talk of how to blow a woman's back out? I know that Fran really wants it.
And Brian's I just want to know how to kiss her.
He's like,
Niles is back there what the fuck, Maxwell?
And Fran's like, move. Tell me more.
Yeah. Sign me. No, Cece's oh my God. Yeah.
That's a great moment too, where Brighton is openly asking for help. Of both his father and a Fran, and nobody's answering. He's like, but I need to talk to someone now. And Cece goes, Cece's here. And he goes, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Don't need that advice. And then I think my favorite moment at the end of this episode is Fran obviously breaking the news to Maggie that she's going to have the talk with Maggie that this guy is gay. But you can clearly hear, if you really listen in, that she whispers homosexuals to fucking Maggie. It's so funny. She does homosexuals. And I'm like, I feel seen. It's so good.
What if she'd been like, those F words are...
Oh my God, what if she did? She's like, I'm gagging, F word. No, that's what Maggie's response is to it. It's like, oh, I'm gagging.
F word. Yes. Oh God, I can't.
That'd be awful.
I can't.
For those that don't know, there is a show on HBO Max called The Other Two. And there is a scene that is from where they say, I'm gagging F word. With obviously, it's so good. And then the cast does the entire hustle, and that is the end of the episode.
Yes. Who is your MVP? Who's your LVP for this episode?
MVP is going to go to Brighton.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna give it to Brighton. Brighton did a really good job of learning from his mistake and, making sure that she felt special, not because he was getting something from it, because he truly felt bad for what he did, and he set to make that course correction to make everything all right. So Brighton, congratulations! I think it's your first time with MVP.
Wow.
LVP, absolutely. Drum roll not needed. Jeffrey Needleman.
What? I'm so shocked.
Jeffrey Needleman can go choke. He's a gross character. And
I hope the play flops.
I really do. I hope it flops, and I hope it gets poor reviews. And I hope he's a lonely man. There, I said it.
Hope he's jacking it at home by himself.
Jesus. Okay. Hope he's just jackhammering that penis. I don't know.
Penis.
That penis. Okay, but this was the Nanny. Moments. I hope this is your first episode.
Mess moments.
I'm just gonna also state for the audience, these Nanny episodes, when we review, will not always be an hour long.
No, I will also say this too. I think it's important that I say it now. Part of the reason why we are separating out the Nanny from Lost is not only for formatting and so that, we can have multiple episodes and such. It's also to remember that we are talking about two very different shows.
Yeah.
Things happen in Lost that relate to itself, and it needs to have that sense of where is this story going. That's not always the case in a sitcom. Sometimes it's just about the stupid jokes of that episode, right?
Yeah.
So while there will be overarching storylines and character development things, from here on out, season 1 sets it up. And yes, there are going to be things that carry the plot through. It's not a deep dive in the same way that we would talk about Lost every time. Sometimes it's as stupid as, how funny was that joke? So I think it's important to remember, not everything has to be super serious and a character analysis situation for the Nanny moving forward.
Yeah. So hopefully you all enjoyed this new format. Hopefully it's been fun. Also, I think going forward, we're not going to do viewer questions just because our viewer comments, just because it's hard for us to do that with our current new format. Where we film everything all at one go. So we are reading your comments. We're going to be replying to your comments more often when we see them on YouTube and stuff like that. So that way, that we are truly listening in. Obviously, we saw Angela's comment about the
hot mess tangents,
because that's totally what this is. But this has been Hot Mess Moments. Please consider giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Helps us out tremendously. Make sure to go check me out at 8-Bit Dylan, or if you want to check out the show, it's at Hot Mess Moments on Twitter. And Beth.
And you can hit me up at AugustaWind11, especially if you have anything related to the Nanny that is spoiler filled, because we don't want Dylan seeing it. So send it my way. And that way, if there's anything when we get to the Lost stuff, you can send it to him, not to me, because I don't want to know the spoilers.
It's true. It's true. It's true. This has been Hot Mess Moments. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next Tuesday with the next episode of The Nanny.
See you next Tuesday.
What's the next episode of The Nanny?
Everybody needs a bubby.
Yes. So make sure to watch that one on HBO Max. I believe it is listed as episode 2 of season 2, even though it is technically episode 3. So
It's the whole thing.
yeah, it's the thing.
Once we get to episode 7, we're in the clear of this one. But this is the one messed up thing about HBO Max, and it's a mystery that they haven't fixed it for. I don't know.
True. HBO Max hit me up. But thank you all so much, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, y'all.
Bye.